Good morning, Space Watchers. So it's me, Laura Todd, here again on day 2 of Space-Comm, and once again I have Daniel Smith with me.
Nice to be back.
How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm a bit tired. I won't deny it. I'm a bit tired, but no, I'm feeling pretty good. And it was such an energizing event yesterday. I'm just waiting for that energy to come back and hit me again.
Right, I will do my best to give Daniel some energy because I usually have it in abundance. So just emit to you. So what was your highlight of yesterday then? Because it was such a packed day, like you say.
It was. It was really busy. There was some really good talks throughout the day, some really important sessions actually. I think there was some big announcements around funding from the UK Space Agency, UK government, yes. A lot to support Scotland as well, which was fantastic. And we had some really good sessions in the kind of the spin-out rooms, the different side rooms as well, which is good. There was a poignant moment as well. There was Frank Strang, who of course was the driving force behind SaxaVord Spaceport, and there was a really moving tribute to him that was shown at the very start, which I thought was a great touch because he was a very important person. We're a community here in Scotland, you know. The space sector is growing fast, but ultimately it's come out of people working together, getting together and seeing how can we drive things forward. And Frank was really one of the people at the centre of that. He was a great mentor for me when I first came in, one of the first people that I spoke to when I joined the sector. So it was great to see him recognised in that way, and I think that did mean a lot. And it's something very specific to Scotland as well. So it was hard not to think of that as far as yesterday is concerned. And yeah, we had an evening reception as well, which was great. There was some whiskey tasting going on. Of course, for East Scotland. So yeah, it was a really good day.
Just to say, so like some of the breakout sessions, so there were some good ones with Law, Naomi Pride, what she was running in the outside rooms. I felt it, because this is one of the bugbears I have whenever we do conferences. You feel like all the space law stuff is out to the side and more integrated, and it felt more integrated and more inclusive, so it was quite nicely done.
That's a great point. They talked about the EU Space Act, for example, and I know you guys have been covering that a lot, and it's so important. I think a lot of companies don't realise, particularly in the UK, that it's going to affect them, and Naomi is one of the people I go to and say, you know, tell me more about this legislation, what can it mean for Scottish companies, for British companies, etc.
Yeah. The other thing I thought was nice was there was a lot of like international collaboration. So I was talking to so many people from different countries yesterday. You could see that there was like, you know, the American consulate was here as well.
Yes.
Trying to build up those relations.
Yes, so important.
That was really positive.
And, you know, Scotland's very serious about trying to grow those connections more. As you know, we work together in my AstroAgency capacity, but I also have the envoy role for the Scottish Government. And it's purely focused on inward investment and promoting Scotland around the world. So it's great to have the Malaysian delegation here today. We'll be hearing from them later on. And as you say, the US yesterday. Quite a lot of people from the US are at this event, which is great. Yeah, there's a real appetite. Yeah.
So what are you looking forward most for today then?
Well, quite a few things. There's the Sustainability Symposium, which is one that's really close to my heart. We've been really involved through the years in helping to, well, we could see that Scotland is kind of just naturally doing a lot of things with a kind of environmental consciousness to their work, whether it's the launch vehicle fuels that they're developing or the spaceports. You know, we talked a little bit about this yesterday, but it's one thing that I've been looking forward to over these 2 days. So that's happening in one of the spin-out rooms. They're updating everybody on what's happening with Scotland's Space Sustainability Roadmap, which was the first of its kind in the world, and really got us a seat at the table and helped show that we're serious about this topic, when we really want to be the greenest place on Earth to launch from, which is I think it's something that can be achieved, and we're working with ESA, working with the UK Space Agency. The United Nations are here, they're going to be part of that panel today, UNUSA as well, the Secure World Foundation, etc. So something that's really important as a USP for Scotland, so that's a big one for us today. There's some really good sessions. Dave Mackay, the first Scot in space, he's got his session pretty soon as well, which I'm really looking forward to. He's been a great friend and help, and a great ambassador for the space sector in Scotland and in the UK. There's again so many different things going on today that hard to keep track, but it's going to be good too.
I like the sustainability side because it's also something I'm incredibly proud of, that we're leading that for a country level, so as a real strategy. The other thing I think that's interesting though, and it was peppered in yesterday, but you've got more focus on it today, is VCs, investments, how smaller companies and ventures, what they should navigate. There was a panel today on the valley of death, like becoming commercial in the space sector. So there's a good mix of different things today as well, and to help the smaller companies.
So important because in Scotland, as you know, it's mostly SMEs, and the UK is generally the same. There's a lot of small companies in Scotland. We don't really have a space prime. So I'm glad you mentioned it. My colleague Dasha, who's leading that session today, so that's going to be a good one. The AstroAgency and some of our clients will be getting on stage talking about that commercialisation journey. what can you do to bring in revenue while you're working towards your main capability. And then I've got another colleague, Jennifer, today, who's going to be speaking about the connection between space and the rural economy. So looking at how a spaceport can be such an integral part of a local economy and how it can boost regional areas where there's, difficulties around people leaving to move to big cities, etc. How do you keep people in these remote areas? Well, spaceport is not a bad option, is it? So
this is true.
I'm looking forward to that session too, and we're proud to be leading that one.
I have to say, the other thing that's good to keep people in those rural areas, a good coffee. And I think that's what we need to do after this to get started in the day, do a boost of energy.
That sounds like a plan.
Excellent. So with that, SpaceWatch out.